Hi there, meteorologist Jim Rinaldi here, and I'm going to show you what I'm looking at here regarding this storm on the 6th, which is getting a little bit more interesting in my book. Things we have to watch for. Not something I would predict just yet, but it's certainly something that we're going to have to watch for. And here we have the 108-hour GFS, and here we have Southern Branch feature coming into the west coast, coming on the shore in California. Northern Branch feature up here. We have this trough east of Hawaii down here. We have a ridge across the Central Plains, and we have this trough into the east. So that's what the GFS is showing. Let me show you the Canadian. I want you to remember these features and how they're lined up here. And look at the difference here in the Canadian model. These images are courtesy of Weatherbell. And look here, big difference here. One, this system here is not on shore yet. It's still off in the Pacific, but this Northern Branch feature has kicked way out. It is not in a phase or position with the Southern Branch feature. It's kicking way out ahead, and as a result, the Eastern Trough is being kicked out as well. So that's the Canadian solution, and we'll go to AccuWeather for the European. And this is kind of a hybrid of the two. The upper level low is still not quite on shore in California yet, but the Northern Branch feature has not kicked out either, so we don't have the flatness of the ridge that we see on the Canadian out here, but we do see that it is progressed further eastward as we have. And also notice there's really no trough east of Hawaii on the European. So that's something else to notice too. Now, here's what I think we might be seeing happening and why I think that this has to be watched for some potential development as we head into the 6th. And that is, well, first of all, I think that this is the better idea than this. I don't like the idea of this Northern Branch feature just kicking out and kicking the Eastern Trough out to sea. I think this is going to be better aligned or phased, or maybe it's in a full phase, but it's going to be more of this variety here. Now, my issue here is that this is the GFS. It has a progressive bias. So I think the Canadian-European idea that this is still offshore up here is probably better, with this Northern Branch feature still being back here. If that is the case, then we're going to see the ridge axis not be here, but the ridge axis is going to be back here, like this. Okay, with the axis kind of near the Idaho, Wyoming, Montana border here, somewhere in that area there. That would mean the trough axis would probably not be here like this, but would be more positive and would be more neutral, I should say, and would be back here like this. So move this trough axis back to here and have the flow coming up like this. Now, if that were the case, that would allow the storm to come further north and to be stronger. So that is definitely something we have to be watching for going forward in time, looking at this system. Like I said, it's not something I'm predicting right now per se, but it's something that I'm going to be watching. We'll look at the GFS here and go to 108 hours. And you can see here it's coming out, going out to sea. And but I think that if it works out the way I said, that we might be seeing the trough in the east a little bit. Stand back a little bit and digging a little bit more. Well, that can make a big difference as to where that ends up. Is it going to be, is it going to be back in the, coming offshore like that, or will it come up the coast? So that's something we'll have to watch. It's not something I'm forecasting right now, but it's going to be interesting to watch this going forward. I'm meteorologist Jim Rinaldi with a look at the storm for the 6th.